Please rise if you are able for the graduating procession. Please remain standing until the graduates have been seated.
in the toil of thinking, in the serenity of books, in the messages of prophets, the songs of poets, and the wisdom of interpreters, in discoveries of continents of truth, whose margins we may see, we delight in free minds and their thinking, in the majesty of the moral order, in the faith that right will triumph, in the courage given us when we ally ourselves to truth in any form, in the privilege of being co-workers in good causes, we celebrate the unseen goals we share and serve. Let us build a world safe from war and oppression, free and satisfying, one that ultimately furnishes answers for us all. Please be seated.
Graduates, friends and family, good morning and welcome. I'm Al Goss, I'm the Associate Dean in the Ted Rogers School of Management. Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge the land that we're celebrating on today. Toronto is in the Dish with One Spoon territory. The Dish with One Spoon is a treaty between the Anishinaabe, the Mississaugas, and the Haudenosaunee that bound them to share the territory and protect the land. Subsequent Indigenous nations and peoples, Europeans, and all newcomers have been invited into this treaty in the spirit of peace, friendship, and respect. I now welcome to the podium Joanne Dallaire, the university's Elder and Senior Advisor, Indigenous Relations and Reconciliation.
One good thing about having friends with reading glasses is that you can borrow them when you've forgotten your own. Well, long time coming, eh? I really hope that you can embrace today in full celebration. I want to say hello and welcome to today's graduates, family members, friends, and supporters, to our President Vice Chancellor, Mohammed Lashmi, to our Chancellor, Janice Fakasuk, I knew I was going to do that, Fakakusa. Thank you. I'm going to say it again. Fakasuk. I can't say it again. Fakasuka. That's why I wrote it down, so I wouldn't have trouble with it. And I apologize, Janice. We talked about this yesterday. Provost Jennifer Simpson, the deans, and all the other people adoring our stage. We're here to honor and celebrate hard work, moving forward, accomplishing things that you never thought that you would accomplish. And that is certainly very much a reflection of our Indigenous on dock today, of Gabrielle Scrimshaw. You will hear about her and her magnificent accomplishments. And so I'm here today not only to make several mistakes as I talk, to remind us that none of us are perfect, but to open us in a good traditional fashion. I'm going to talk about at the core of Indigenous ways of knowing and being, and the way that we try to live and walk. And all of you, if you go into your own ancestry, will hear things that resonate with you. So I just ask we be of open heart and open mind here today as I offer this welcoming. I'm going to announce in my ancestral language, which is Omashkiko Swampy Cree, that my spirit or ancestral name is Shadowhawk Woman, and I'm from the Wolf Clan, and the rest will be in English. Wache, Ani, Sego, Nit, Kwe, Tenze, hello. Adishna Hasan, Sahakutam, the Kashashan Ishku, Mahigan Dodam Omashkiko. First, let us give thanks for this day that's been offered to us. This opportunity to open our hearts and open our minds to a newer way of seeing and a newer way of being. I call upon any ancestors or spirit helpers who'd like to come and join all of us today in this wonderful celebration. I give thanks for all the people who have worked so hard behind the scenes to organize this. Let us give thanks to Mother Earth and for all that she provides for us, and beg for her forgiveness for how we treat her, and pray for the healing of her waters. Let us give thanks to Father Sky for watching over us and tending to the star people, while reminding us of the many things we must tend to in a day. To Grandfather Sun, who gives us the energy of life, while reminding us that too much of something that's good for us can be harmful. And to Grandmother Moon, for when she is full, lights our way in the darkness. And when she is a new moon, reminds us that even in the darkness, the light is still there. We just have to look for it. She also reminds us of the many phases we will go through in a month. Let us give thanks for any plant and animal life that will give of themselves today so that we can move forward in a good way. And for all those people who work so hard behind the scenes to get our food ready for us, from the farmers, butchers, producers, service staff, we thank them all for their hard work. A special shout out for people who are going through health concerns and for those who are dealing with people who have passed. I ask that each and every person here today receive something that reminds you of your uniqueness and your importance with every step that you take in this world. And I say, Chimigwich, 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 aho, all my relations. I just want to say a couple of things. If you hear that prayer, you hear that we have a connection to everything in the universe and that we are part of everything. And as you go forward in life, I ask that you not worry about what's going to happen tomorrow, that you learn from your past, but that you be good seed planters. Do your very best in the moment. Close your eyes in gratitude and wake up every morning in gratitude. Love those who are important to you and show just how magnificent you are as you approach this world. Congratulations to each and every one of you, and to Gabrielle Grimshaw. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanne. Class of 2022, it is wonderful to be able to celebrate your academic achievements in person. And I'm so proud to be here today in person to congratulate our new graduates and to share in this special celebration with their family and friends. As students, you've demonstrated your ability to pivot to virtual learning during the pandemic, to adapt to changing environments, and to be resilient during a challenging time. You've also demonstrated your leadership and your desire to push beyond conventional business education, to take innovative and creative risks, and to work collaboratively to contribute to your community. I encourage you to continue this approach as alumni and to use the tools that you've acquired here to promote business initiatives that have local, national, and global relevance and change society for the better. Although your time as an undergraduate student is ending, you remain a valuable member of our family. And like all strong families, our school embraces its deep and lasting connections to alumni. And speaking of families, I want to thank all of your families for supporting you through your Ted Rogers School experience. I'm so glad that you can be with us today. I sincerely hope that you'll stay connected by joining your Alumni Association, and that our paths will cross again in the workplace, at Toronto Metropolitan University events, or in the classroom as lifelong learners and graduate students. Take advantage of the many benefits and services you have access to as alumni, including support from our Business Career Hub for Life. And when you're out there doing great work, your colleagues are going to turn to you one day and they're going to say, "That's so impressive. Where did you learn that?" And I want you to confidently tell them, "I'm from the Ted Rogers School of Management." To begin this very special day, I introduce you to the Chancellor of Toronto Metropolitan University, Janice Fukakusa.
Graduands, I am very proud and honored to be speaking to you. Today is a well-deserved day of celebration for all of you, and we share our pride in your success with everyone whose love and support has played a part in bringing you here today. Now, normally at this stage in my remarks, I can typically share a few pieces of advice with the graduating class. But after 2 years of pandemic, I think it's the graduands here today that should be giving us advice. Graduands, you went through a remarkable experience. You endured and came through it, achieving all of your ultimate objectives. You succeeded by facing and overcoming all the unforeseen barriers. I hope that you're able to share your experience with others and be proud of what you've achieved. In fact, be proud of the impact of everything you're going to do in the next few months and years to come. And take time to reflect on your achievements, because it helps build the confidence essential to overcome the inevitable challenges in your years ahead. And when you look back on your university experience, I encourage you to remember what you learned about yourself. That resilience gives you the means to learn from your experiences, and determination will keep you focused on your dreams. After all, you have all proved that you have the talent and drive to succeed. On this special day of celebration, let me close by offering my congratulations and best wishes for your journey ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor Fukakusa. And now, please welcome the university's President and Vice Chancellor, Mohammed Lashmi.
Thank you. Class of 2022, welcome. Welcome also to family and friends, colleagues from across the university community and beyond. Class of 2022, this is an important day for you, and you have our warmest congratulations. You graduate at a milestone moment in history. Despite the challenges brought on by the pandemic, you remained committed to your studies, kept connected to your classes, and served your community in more ways than I can mention. A milestone also because your graduating year will be forever linked to our historic name change. What has not changed from the moment you choose to study here to the moment you cross the stage to accept your award are the values that define our university. And when you return as alumni, you will feel right at home. Class of 2022, the first graduating class of Toronto Metropolitan University, you helped shape this place. Now, both you and the university look ahead to a new chapter and bright future. A future of promise and optimism, better prepared than ever to meet the challenges and opportunities ahead. This is your time. What you have is exactly what the world is looking for: talent, energy, and new ideas. Your years here have prepared you for this moment. We are so very glad that you choose this university, that you immerse yourself in our university community. I hope you are feeling grateful for each other, for the good friends who shared your university experience and are now friends for life. Which brings us full circle. While we may find success as individuals, as a society, we depend on each other. We need loved ones, and I'm glad to see many of them attending this celebration with you. We need colleagues and community. In French, you know, we never say goodbye. Instead, we say au revoir, which literally means until we see you again. Enjoy your very special day and stay close to your alma mater. For together, we will shape the future. And now I invite you to please enjoy a short video.
Today marks a momentous moment in the story of your life. Just a few years ago, you began a new chapter. For some, that meant moving to a new city. For many, that meant discovering new perspectives. And for all, that meant opening your mind to new possibilities. Along the way, you were met with challenges unfamiliar to those who came before you and to those who follow. You embraced the responsibility of learning and unlearning, inspired by the people and places that played a part. Together, we evolved. While this chapter comes to a close, your story continues. Tomorrow, you'll remember this moment, not for who you were, but for who you have become. Today, we'll celebrate the diversity of your experience, your commitment to shaping a better future, and your part in our story. As the first graduating class of Toronto Metropolitan University.
This year marks an important milestone for the Ted Rogers School of Management. It is the 15th anniversary of the naming of the school in recognition of an extraordinary gift from Ted and Loretta Rogers. Ted Rogers died in 2008. Less than 2 weeks ago, we were deeply saddened to learn the passing of Loretta Rogers. Their impact on this school and this university is immense. It cannot be understated. Their gift to business and creative education sparked a transformation that continues to this day. From just over 7,000 students in 2007, the business school has grown to 12,000 students today. To give you some perspective, enrollment in TRSM is now larger than the entire enrollment at 70 other universities in Canada. That's 2/3 of all Canadian universities. Our reputation has reached new heights as well. The Ted Rogers MBA is ranked number 3 in Canada by Bloomberg Business Week, and second in Canada for entrepreneurship and learning. Loretta and Ted Rogers believed that education changed lives, and they believe in the potential of TMU students. For more than 40 years, the support of the Rogers family has shaped our university's history and positioned us for the future. In addition to TRSM, their generosity sparked the creation of the Rogers Communications Center on our campus and launched the Edward S. Rogers Senior Graduate School for Advanced Communication in the Creative School. Loretta Rogers served on our Board of Governors and was awarded an honorary doctorate here in 2004. She was a great friend of the university and we will forever remember her kind and generous spirit. To honor the memory of Loretta Rogers, I ask you, please thank Loretta Rogers for the contributions to our university with an applause. Thank you very much.
Chancellor Fukakusa, President Lashmi, Provost Simpson, deans, esteemed colleagues and representatives who join us on stage, members of the graduating class, family, friends, and honored guests. It is my privilege to deliver the citation for Gabrielle Scrimshaw-Sokolov, upon whom Toronto Metropolitan University is conferring the degree Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, our highest award. Our Dean of the Ted Rogers School of Management, Dr. Daphne Terrace, was unable to attend today, and she's asked me to convey her very warmest wishes and congratulations to you, and I'm happy to deliver this citation on her behalf. Gabrielle Scrimshaw-Sokolov is an Indigenous professional with a passion for creating social impact. She was born in northern Saskatchewan and raised by her father as a proud citizen of the Hatchet Lake First Nation. And she was the first in her family to attend post-secondary education. After graduating from the University of Saskatchewan, she moved to Toronto, working at the Royal Bank of Canada's Graduate Leadership Program. It was after Ms. Sokolov began to work in the financial sector that she became an activist. At the bank, she realized that there were other Indigenous people who were quietly succeeding. She co-founded the Indigenous Professional Association of Canada to offer a network of service and programming to First Nations, Métis, and Inuit professionals. As the group grew, it became a platform to fight against stereotypes and racist assumptions. I started to stand up a little bit taller and speak a little bit louder about the things that I knew to be true about Indigenous peoples, she said. I knew that Indigenous peoples, I knew them to be beautiful and strong, more than just statistics flashing on the screen about poverty, suicide, and substance abuse. She was chosen by the Huffington Post as one of the 3 young Aboriginal Canadians to watch in 2013. Ms. Sokolov has a remarkable record in post-secondary education. In addition to her bachelor's degree from the University of Saskatchewan, she holds an MBA from the Stanford University Graduate School of Business and was a Gleitzman Fellow at the Center for Public Leadership at Harvard University, where she earned a master's in public administration. From the moment Ms. Sokolov went to college, she was determined to forge her own trajectory. During university, she traveled to 18 countries in 4 years, meeting Indigenous peoples from around the world and discovering their common history of colonization, discrimination, and forced assimilation. She still feels outrage at the injustices committed against Native peoples all over the world, but she says that she prefers to focus on being inspired by the shared strength and resilience. Gabrielle Scrimshaw-Sokolov, for your advocacy and support for Indigenous people around the world, and for serving as an example of the transformative power of education, we celebrate and honor you today. I would now like to call Chancellor Fukakusa, President Lashmi, and Gabrielle to the podium for the conferring of the degree.
Toronto Metropolitan University, by virtue of the authority granted by the Province of Ontario under the University Act, has awarded the degree Doctor of Laws honoris causa with all the rights and privileges attended thereon, to Gabrielle Scrimshaw Sagaloff.
Thank you, Masi Eklanide, Chancellor Fukakusa, President Lashmi, Provost Simpson, deans, members of faculty, honored guests, proud parents, and above all, graduates. It is an extraordinary honor to be here today. When I received notice from President Lashmi I was to receive this honor, I have to admit, I thought there must have been some type of error. This can't be right, I thought. Why would anyone give me an honorary degree? And when I told my husband, who is arguably my biggest fan and cheerleader, that I was receiving an honorary degree, he met the news of that with a suspicious look, saying, "Maybe you should give them a call." As you all know, I'm not really a household name. I'm not a celebrity. I've never earned an Olympic gold medal. So why am I here? An elder once told me, the strength of who we are as Indigenous people comes from the fact that we speak from our hearts, and that for thousands of years we've passed down our traditional knowledge, history, and cultures through our stories. So this morning, on your beautiful graduation day, I would like to honor that elder's wisdom and share a little of my personal story with you. As the youngest of 3 siblings, I spent my summers on fishing boats in northern Saskatchewan, where my father taught me how to fish, how to fillet fish, and of course, find the best fishing spots. And in fact, most of my early memories are of days spent out on the lake. My family eventually moved from northern Saskatchewan, settling in a small Cree and Métis community north of Saskatoon. My dad is a single parent, raising 3 young girls, and at the age of 29, he made the difficult decision to become a single father. At the age of 30, he decided to pursue his lifelong dream of becoming an artist and a painter. My mother is a residential school survivor who never graduated high school and spent all of her life in the North. Suffice it to say, my family faced a number of unique challenges ranging from substance abuse to suicide. I was more likely to drop out of high school than I was to finish it. So in many ways, I should not be standing here in front of you today. When I was 17, I told my dad I was going to apply for university, something at that time no one in my family had ever done before. He told me, "Sure, Gab, if that's what you want to do, I'll support you." Looking back, his gentle encouragement gave me the courage to pursue a path that was uniquely my own, knowing that whatever happened, if I was happy, he'd be happy for me. I was free to set the life and create the life that I wanted, but I had zero idea of what it should look like. And so, like all of you, I pursued a degree in business, not knowing what the future held or what my place in it would be. I knew I wanted a solid foundation as my future. And as you are all aware, this degree provides a lot of exciting paths to choose. But as I'm sure you have also been feeling, choice can be overwhelming. Choice invites hesitation and uncertainty, forcing questions often rooted in doubt. Who do I want to be? What's the right next step? Should I move or should I stay? What happens if it doesn't work out? In the 12 years since I graduated from university, I have had several careers, from working in finance here in Toronto, to starting a national nonprofit across Canada, to founding a business in Boston, to working in tech in San Francisco. Each career, a world of different distance between the young girl sitting on a fishing boat in northern Saskatchewan. Each decision or choice between chapters, no clear path and no right answer. So faced with uncertainty about the future, how do we make the right choice? To that, I would share another piece of advice I received from an elder. Several years ago, on a sunny winter day, this elder was walking through the forest with his young son, and he was teaching him about traditional medicines. And as they were walking, they had the weight of their boots below them, and they were trudging through this deep snow. And as they continued, his young son slowly started to follow behind him. And as they were walking, his son said, "Dad, it's a lot easier for me to step where you've stepped." The elder told me how each day we're creating footprints for people to follow. And he went on to say that as you walk, make sure you walk in a good way. In my career in life, I've taken this advice to my very heart. No one in this room, be it the brightest faculty or the most certain parents, knows what tomorrow promises, let alone what might happen in the next 2, 3, 5 years. The best you can do is stay curious and try to walk in a good way. The last 2 years have been unique to every generation alive today. Through it all, graduates, you have shown your ability to adapt, to be resilient, to continue in the face of uncertainty, traits that will serve as the most solid foundation for each new challenge and chapter. As you end one chapter and embrace a new one, trust that the same luck, hard work, and attitude that got you here will get you where you need to go. Because the truth is, there is no right answer. There is no right choice. What matters is to continue forward in the face of uncertainty, taking each day one footprint at a time. And so, as you walk today for graduation, remember the footprints of those you have followed to get here. Be it a parent, a mentor, a family member, and get excited for all the footprints you have yet to make. And as you go forth and create your own path, I ask you reflect on 2 questions only. What are the footprints that I'm leaving, and how can I walk in a good way? Thank you for the honor of addressing you, and congratulations once again. Thank you.
Thank you for those inspiring words, Dr. Sarlov. And now, an honor song by Jenny Blackbird. Thank you, Jenny. As our graduates prepare to come forward, I'll take this opportunity to request that you hold your applause until all graduates have crossed the stage. We do, however, welcome spontaneous outbursts of joy, enthusiasm, or even relief from family and friends. That's all part of your celebration. And so that all the graduates are celebrated equally, we ask that everyone please remain for the duration of this ceremony. I now ask to come forward and thank in advance the University Registrar, Robin Parr.
Will the graduates please rise if you're able? Chancellor Fukakusa, President Lashmi, Provost Simpson, honored guests, faculty member, staff, families and friends of the graduands. I have the honor and pleasure to present graduand from Toronto Metropolitan University's Ted Rogers School of Management degree programs. Our graduands, including all those who are joining us for today's ceremony, as well as those unable to attend who are graduating in absentia. I certify that each has met the academic requirements for the awards they are about to receive, and that each has been duly approved by the University Senate. My congratulations to each of you. You can be seated.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present candidates for the undergraduate degrees in the Ted Rogers School of Management. Siawash Aziz. Bachelor of Commerce, Business Technology Management. Naveed Abdullah. Sorati Abdurrahman. Basim Baydri Adus with distinction. Larry J. Aguilan. Hamza Ahmed. Efeoluwa Ajibola. Abdul Alim Alali with distinction. Afnan Alamudi. Nawal Alim. Caitlin Allen. Shabrana Aman. Rakan Ayub. Anushka Babu Rajendran with distinction. Sanjay Balakumaran. Annie Yasmin Bazi. Indrup Basi. Mu'in Barucha. Randy Bui. Shafak Boot. Joshua Castillo. Kinhang Keith Chan. Sajeev Chandra Kumar. Bryson Chippin. Janet Chirayath. Sangjun Cho. Jordan Chong. Howard Chow, who is also receiving a certificate in accounting finance with distinction. Nabhan Chowdhury. Ronald Chu. Xavier Kodayo. Jonathan Cowdery. Victor Custodio with distinction. Matthew Thayton. Jessica Marie DaCosta. Cheyenne Diaz. Joseph Dick. Sayan Divakaran. Sean Doe. Roman Ilham with distinction. Nebiu Ermias with distinction. Fazila Faisal. Salim Faiz Muhammad. Jesse Figueroa Kagambai. Ishmael Forjur. Daniel Frampton. Daniel Gadanidis. Christian Clarence Gahol. Luca Galucci. Ram Ganeswaran. Arun Ganachenthan. Akshvir Gogna. Gurpreet Grewal. Sukaran Grewal. Victoria Gunawardana. Ali Hamam with distinction. Ahmed Hamoud. Ghazal Hashimi. Jaskaran Hair. Wenbo Huang. Jawad Syed Haidar. Salman Jahangir. Adil Jifri. Dominador Jove. Pritika Kalidas. Joshua Kim. Balraj Kunar. Kishak Kukanesan. Sonia Kumar. Manav Lakiani. Terrence Law. Braden Lee Loy. Karina Levin with distinction. Jessica Lavina with distinction. Gerald Lim Teng Chong. Viktor Lisyakov with distinction. Philip Ma with distinction. Muhammad Riza Mada with distinction. Swetha Mahendra Lingam. Kushtaba Mahmood with distinction. Usama Malik. Marcus Maminta. Ahmed Mazhar. Shafiul Maznabin with distinction. Luel Mengesha. Mohaimin Miraj. Arish Mobeen. Faisal Mohammed. Noor Musa with distinction. Muhiruddin Muhammad. Nirushan Nantakumar. Somesh Nareen. Zoya Nasim. Warda Naveed. Henrique Gan Jen. Aaron Nguyen. Han Nguyen with distinction. Monica Nguyen. Vivian Nguyen. Navil Norit. Matthew Niavor. Tyrell Agor. Riley Au. Aubrey Pantlitz. Rahul Parikh. Viraj Patel. Yasvi Patel. Raghav Patak. Gok Pham with distinction. Andreas Filippakopoulos. Mustafa Shahid Qalbani. Oralin Kihano. Muhammad Kamran Qureshi. Muhammad Rahman. Nishat Rahman. Ricardo Ramirez Marin. Muhammad Rashid. Raghavi Ravichandra Kumar. Vaksiran Ravindraraj. Hassan Raza with distinction. Yawa Raza. Sabrina Razo. Obaid Kawaja. Brian Sabala. Azma Sabahat with distinction. Abdul Rahman Sadat with distinction. Aisha Safi. Muhammad Saeed. Ilham Sakhizada. Brent Jano Salanga with distinction. Science Saravanabavan. Dola Sarkar. Vijayashan Sadgunam. Leah Francesca Sawal. Sukanea Salvaraja. Sagar Saperi Matnav. Narjis Shah. Mansi Sharma. Hanad Sheikh. Ali Sheikh. Shabab Siddiqui. Arsal Siddiqui. Fahad Siddiqui. Daniela Singh. Gagandeep Singh. Alexander Sinitsyn. Shriram Sitsabasan. Ravivarma Sivakumar. Sharuga Sivakumar. Sangita Sivanathan. Santharan Siva Subramaniam with distinction. Daniel Slavny, who is also receiving a certificate in business decision analysis with distinction. Sean Sokolingam. Jonathan Srikantha. Menon Srikathirgama. Piraveen Suhindan. Sayan Soranthiran. Rohit Suresh. Abhiram Suvendran. Maram Tayan with distinction. Michael Tavares with distinction. David Tesselin. Vivian Thiruchelvin. Hans Sendrawasi with distinction. Katarina Tomic. Ashvin Tono. Han Trong. Vincent Trong. Heidi Kahe Tse. Muhammad Omar with distinction. Mike Valchanov. Faxen Varatharasa, Loretta Victor, Nathaniel Wellman with distinction, Jeremy Wong, Kelly Wong, Akram Yusuf, Niku Zahedi, Adam Zahur, Matthew Zamija, Raksar Zubairi with distinction, Bachelor of Commerce, Business Technology Management Cooperative Program, Rania Abu Shawar, Nicholas Alexandrov with distinction, Nida Atif with distinction, Rida Atif, Daniel Bialza, Francesco Bisiesto, Michael Bowie, Ravi Chandradat, Amy Chow with distinction, William Chung with distinction, Sehua Chung with distinction, Jose Chua, Jovan Svetkovic, Julian De Cruz with distinction, Jasmine Dawan, Deborah De Silva, Oscar Figueroa Barganza, Jake Glassford, Matthew Ganowan with distinction, Sabika Haidar, Cheyenne Hanjani, Puneet Hasriya, Joanne Hu with distinction, Sumaya Javed with distinction, Winnie Jiang, Harkirat Kuner with distinction, Vanessa Kuo with distinction, Nino Dave Lacap, Jason Long with distinction, David Luo with distinction, Momina Mirza with distinction, Fahim Mossadegh with distinction, Hira Nasim with distinction, Christopher Nguyen with distinction, Kevin Nan, Irvin Oliveros.
Have you done it?
Jinal Patel. Neha Patel. Rahul Patel with distinction. Atiya Qureshi. Jasikan Rajeswaran with distinction. Nivethan Ratnam. Griffin Richards. Taha Shahid with distinction. Yatafi Shanmuganantham. Zara Sheikh. Aaron Singh. Latavia Summersall Franklin. Piranavan Sripalan with distinction. Mithulan Sriskantaraja with distinction. Deanna Sue with distinction. John Del Tan with distinction. Andrew Tanwakio with distinction. Audrey Louise Vicencio. Mei Li Vu with distinction. Joanne Wu with distinction. Ryan Yan, who is being congratulated on stage by his mother, Karen Legros, from the Daphne Cockwell School of Nursing. Justin Yee with distinction. Bachelor of Commerce, Honors, Hospitality and Tourism Management. Zainab Abdeen. Olusegun Aderoju. Heidi Asuncion with distinction. Deidre Baldeo. Alec Barbarian. Mariam Basil. Muhammad Ben Yahya. Amtal Halim Boateng. Jonathan Braun with distinction. Jian Chang. Sinjay Chen. Zishan Chen. Pei Chiang. Hyunseo Choi with distinction. Michelle Chung. Jordan Costa. Nguyen Deng. Cao Hui Dao. Christopher DeYoung. Emily Desario. Lucia Duarte with distinction. Natasha Evangelista. Melanie Feng Chen. Alexis Ferrer. Haley Frutos. Huang Yang. Gregory Graham. Mei Huang. Olivia Howell with distinction. Max Xiaopeng Hu. Emily Wong. Meiyin Stephanie Ip. Keelan James. Ji-Young Jung. Laura Kebret. Greg Koscheva with distinction. Ryan Koo. Ji-Ching Lee. Jimmy Jankit Long. Dabong Lee with distinction. Michelle Liao. Qianqi Liao. Jiahui Liu. Jinheng Liu. Mingshuan Liu. Xiaotian Liu. Yiyong Liu with distinction. Ali Manji. Adam Murray. Claire Matef. Quilin May with distinction. Priyanka Mirpuri. Huailin Nguyen with distinction. Thuan Tu Nguyen. Jaylin Joy Olpindo. Puran Patel with distinction. Leijia Bao Fan. Madison Pickrell. Randy Prieto. Gian Seth Rivero with distinction. Matthew Roger. Siddharth Satish. Parita Shah. Marissa Shah with distinction. Shidang Shi. William Smith with distinction. Maria Saint Maria, with distinction. Paul Stevens. Xinyu Tan. Andrew Tang. Jennifer Tat. Diba Tayari. Jada Thompson. Paula Tilk with distinction. Tatsiana Vasiluskaya. Nikita Vasilyev. Carol Wilson. Hazel Wong. Rosanna Xie with distinction. Ziyang Xu. Xi Yang. Madeline Ye. Chengbo Yu with distinction. Yunshuo Zhang. Qiuyi Zhao. Bingshu Zhu. Menshine Zhou. Bachelor of Commerce, Honors, Hospitality and Tourism Management, Cooperative Program. Sandra Henstridge. Harish Sivaganish. Mai Tring with distinction. Madam Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of today's graduates.
Hello, Toronto Met grads. I'm Jen McMillan, Vice Provost students, and I'm so excited to share this moment with you. After years of hard work and great memories, you finally made it to the finish line. Congratulations on this huge accomplishment. I know you have a lot of family and friends in your corners too, people who supported you when you needed it most and who cheered you on at every milestone. Whether they are near or far, they are celebrating you today, and no doubt incredibly proud of your achievements. I hope you feel that your degree not only represents what you learned in the classroom, but how you made the most of your time here. You worked hard, tackling assignments, studying for exams, and balancing jobs, but also played hard, joining clubs, making athletics history, and becoming student leaders. While some of you might have grown up close by, many of you spent hours on a plane to get here, and that's the beauty of this place. We're a community made up of people from all around the world who found a second home at TMU. So take all of your experiences, your successes and learnings, and dive into every opportunity that lies ahead. Grow the network of friends you've built here and help one another thrive in new spaces around the world. I hope you keep getting involved, keep speaking up, and keep living out loud because this world needs you, just as you are. Do you hear me? It needs you, and I'm so happy we could help you on your way. Congratulations again.
When I moved here to go to university, I was, this kid in this big, intimidating city, and this place just felt like home to me.
And I knew immediately, having just come from Jamaica, that that was the place for me.
I spent 3 years here. These are still the best 3 years of my life.
One of the fondest memories that I had was being here at 1, 2 in the morning. You're leaving at around 3 a.m., but it didn't matter because you were doing what you loved.
My fondest memory at the university was the day I graduated. Dr. G. Raymond Chang, our previous chancellor, was handing it off to me. I remember when I got up to that stage, I whispered over to him, "I'm Jamaican as well. I'm so proud to have you as my chancellor." And we giggled.
Interaction with meeting students from all over the world. Interaction with my instructors of the day.
My fondest memory was getting a husband.
The warmth, the camaraderie, the buildings were so friendly.
During my 8 years as president of the university, I officiated at well over 50 convocations. My fondest memory really was to see the students coming across the stage, to see their families excited with them, and to see so many of the students who are graduating be the first in their family to get a degree.
And it's all true. Yes, thank you. It's not fluff.
Please welcome the Provost and Vice President Academic, Jennifer Simpson.
Good morning. It's so good to see each and every one of you and family and friends here in person. Again, my name is Jennifer Simpson. I'm the Provost and Vice President Academic at Toronto Metropolitan University. And like you, this is my first graduation. I started at TMU in July 2021, and it's so great to be here to celebrate. You have arrived here at this day, at this celebration, at this accomplishment. Once again, congratulations to you all. As we bring today's convocation ceremony to a close, we can take a moment to reflect on the sacrifices and successes that have led to this moment. Endless study sessions and all-nighters dedicated to finishing that project or getting through tough exams. You've had to balance extracurricular activities with demanding academic schedules. And on top of all of that, what none of us could have predicted, you encountered a global pandemic that pushed and challenged you in unimaginable ways. Alongside those challenges, you've also gained incredible things along the way. Cherished memories at varsity games and campus events to reminisce about with lifelong friends. And hopefully, an appetite for learning to fuel your growth in the years ahead. Every day in completing your degrees, you persevered, you asked tough questions, you challenged the status quo, and you triumphed. This is a day of well-deserved celebration for you and your families. In many ways, each of you is now standing at the beginning of your own next chapter. As we heard earlier today, we can't know what's going to happen tomorrow or in 2 years or 5 years. And we expect that you may have moments of excitement and also sometimes of frustration and self-doubt. I had one of those moments of self-doubt about a year after I was sitting where you're sitting now. I was doing an internship and I didn't know what I was going to do next. And I was overwhelmed and the internship was ending. What was I going to do? And at that moment, I decided to reach out to a professor. And I didn't know if he'd remember me. I hadn't been in touch with him since I graduated for over a year. But not only did he remember me, he was so glad to hear from me. And the words he said then are important, even 30 years later. He said, "Jennifer, as much as you can, I hope that you follow your heart." That's also what we wish for each of you, that you reach out to us and that you follow your hearts. that you hold on to yourself, to what you're excited about, what you're committed to, and what you're passionate about. We also hope that you continue to ask questions, to keep learning, and to stay open. I'll take a minute now to say a thank you as well to family members and friends here and in other places more distant who have helped the graduates along your way. The support of you, family and friends here and away, has been incredibly important to each one of our graduates and has contributed to their success in incalculable ways. So thanks very much. Let's take an opportunity to thank our family and friends. Once again, to the graduates, good luck and congratulations. We want you to remember another thing, that by completing your journey here, you will always be part of the Toronto Metropolitan University family, an ever-growing group of passionate people doing remarkable work in every corner of the world. Good luck with all of your future endeavors. We look forward to what each of you will contribute to our shared future. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Provost Simpson. I'd like to thank all of the staff, the volunteers, and faculty here today who helped to make this ceremony a wonderful experience for all. Graduates and guests, once again, congratulations from everyone at the university. I hope you continue to enjoy this very special day. First, if you can, please rise and join Carrie Weeb from the Office of the Dean in the Ted Rogers School of Management in the singing of our national anthem. Following the anthem, please remain standing until all of our graduates have left the arena. And thank you for celebrating with us today.